So that's going to be interesting. But I think it's a very, very slim chance of it happening. But the amount of tacos we cook is definitely going to happen again at some point. I saw obviously Sky, because I sent Sky a screenshot of it, and he posted that. I wasn't going to say anything to Hatter or Jesse, like, at all. Like, maybe in character, if I saw them, I'd have to warn them, like, as Ernest. But as Fizzle McCoy, I wasn't going to tell Hatter or Jesse, as people, that I'd been set on fire by the oven. I was going to let them find that out, so. Yeah, well, see, the thing is, your thing falls apart because we physically couldn't set the shop on fire ourselves before, like, a few days ago, so... When you set fire to it, it was still pretty fiery. I'm also going to turn this down. It was really loud last time, and I just kind of rolled with it. Okay. Hey, and Louis! How you doing again today, dude? Damn. We're getting blessed. Wait, why is the sensitivity so stupidly high now? Whoa, this wasn't like this last time. Was it? I haven't played any other games since. I have to do both of them different? Oh, that's horrifying. Okay. Okay. Stills and drugs, ends and I have been waiting for so long. Well, for me to be set on fire, did you know about it, I'm guessing? And to be fair, Ernest hadn't even had a smoke yet that day. That's possibly why I was set on fire. I was stressed. That still seems disproportionately fast. Oh well. And doing spelches, Louis dude, having a ball of a time.
Something significant. Kind of. What is that? Am I hearing weeds?
Oh yeah, I never beat these things, did I? DPI go up? Well, I don't know how. I haven't done anything to change the DPI. Okay, it wasn't. Okay, fair, nice. Yeah, it was a proper shame I wasn't actually streaming. But yeah, I didn't really like. I hadn't intended to. Fucking hell. Yeah, I hadn't actually like planned on streaming for long. Man, the sensitivity is way crazy on this at the moment. This wasn't like this yesterday. The only thing I've done is upgraded my graphics driver, but that shouldn't have done shit. I'm hoping that. It's still super fast. What the hell?
Oh, great! A whole mess up. Interesting. Ghosts and gargoyles.
Hey, that was
Okay,
a game.
weird.
Ghosts and Gargoyles. A game we played when I was in the seminary.
Ghosts and Gargoyles.
God damn it.
Dink game didn't you play? Do you have your 8-sided dice with you?
Get him. Oh.
I've said it before and I'll say it again.
Oh shit. It's got firepower. Oh shit.
On your left. Behind you. Now that hurt.
Get him in the fucking thing. Oh shit. Could have a little health, yeah. Oh shit. Help me. Save me.
Hey, over here.
Save me.
Yo, little help.
Where's Peter? How do I help you? There you go, buddy.
Run! Help me! Scan it for the spirit guy. On the right.
Keep forgetting to scan these fuckers. Where you go?
Hold him now.
They're just sitting in the car doing fuck all, man. So every time you came on, he was just hanging around the tech shop waiting for fire. Right, oh, okay, right, nice. Damn. Well, it'll happen again at some point, I'm sure.
Starting to make good time. And I thought it couldn't become any harder to get around Manhattan. Any ideas?
Well, we're not getting through that way now.
Hey, cut through this alley. We might be able to head off State Park.
We need to find a way around this mess.
See, it's either you.
Oh.
I've had just about enough of the marshmallow parade. Let's go see if we can find us
How
a
am I gonna-
shortcut. You
how-
with me?
Yeah, did you go in here? Oh, he did, yeah.
Spooky and clothesline fresh.
Huh.
Are you kidding me?
Huh.
Haunted laundromat?
Yup. Clothes be spooky. Hey, stop it. That's why you wash your clothes, otherwise a ghost will form into a mega ghost. I think I found some birds. Were we looking for birds?
That looks like our ticket. That tank is leaking gas all over the place. That is a serious safety hazard, man.
I wanted to test these first, but since we're waiving that safety step today anyway, you should be aware that I modified the neutrino mod, which normally releases the particle stream.
Wow, it's like Christmas came early.
Earlier than what? They started Christmas before Halloween this year. Santa came to my house dressed as Dracula.
Oh, that's what I wanted to see.
You guys might want to stand back.
How far exactly?
Back. Way back.
It took a while to explode.
Do I still have eyebrows?
Samuel.
I said way back.
He did say that.
Nicely done. Great job, kid.
Yeah. Combustible gasoline. It's the future. Egon, once
Wow,
you get on
Carl's
Super
strong.
Timer, I'll get it home.
It's a prototype, Peter. You recall the memo from you about getting too many memos on
Oh,
prototypes?
well that was
Well,
so
I did
clicky.
read
We've
Ah,
got
right.
high expansion rapid cycle multiple ghost appeals. It's faster and
Equalizing.
Hey, Mojo, how you doing, my man? Tell me I'm good. Tell me I'm good. Tell me I'm good.
Okay.
How you doing today, buddy?
But our exposure to interdimensional deities has been
Rats.
really marginal to date, so it would be wise to anticipate some error.
You're an error.
Somebody needs a Ghostbuster.
Oh, hello.
For a big guy, he fights awfully sneaky. We should
Yeah,
tie
right.
a peller around his neck.
Van Finsburg was struggling to nap, so I might just get up. Nice, fair play, dude. But things are going swimmingly. As you can, hey, I'm thinking for the host. You can see we're living it straight up as New York's #1 Ghostbusting team. Yeah. We're gonna actually go see a movie. Oh, maybe not a movie. Oh no, not pro. Okay.
Wasn't that show shut down when the stage caught fire and killed the cast?
Get him. Get him.
I had to say it.
That's right. Ruthless producer.
What's it do if I
Just
step on it?
reopened it last week.
Does it burn my shoes?
There must be something really bad about this place.
Grab a full scan.
Good idea. We should probably have a look around.
Guess that means we're not alone.
Yep. These are unusual flux
Yeah.
patterns. Whoa, wait! Don't touch that.
You got like 4 hours and it's like nighttime. That's true.
Black slime. Black slime.
Took
is
you
a
ages to get
hazardous
past this
form
bit?
of ectoplasmic
Okay, let's see if I can figure it out.
to both body and soul. Very dangerous. Egon and I haven't developed clothes and boots sufficient enough to insulate against the negative psychokinetic effects of this stuff yet, so be careful.
In other words, the stains don't ever come out.
Ooh.
Watch
Oh, hello. Right. Okay. It's like Saint Blatant Weekends. That's fair. Hey, she's pretty good.
Look out! The fat lady's singing!
She is so old. Looks like an opera singer.
Oh, there's another one. There's 2.
You better take her.
What's that supposed to mean? I'm a chubby chaser? I take out one plump girl, blind date, like her personality, and you guys can't let it go.
Oh. Oh, poor Peter. Sounds like he really liked her too.
Now bring it in.
Damn, that was quick.
I don't have time for you right now, gargoyle.
Was there a gargoyle as well? No. Oh shit.
I'm hit. Need some help.
Oh, where is he? Oh, you got him? Alright. Oh shit.
On the right. Oh, great. A whole mess up.
Watch it, strings are crossing.
Oh shit! I got hit in the goo.
Find some cover.
Save me! My face is in goo.
Run. Incoming.
And oh shit, Yanni baby! Coming in with the sub, my man. How you doing today, dude? Oh shit. I very much appreciate it. How you doing today, my man? We're in a, oh shit, a hectic situation.
Behind you. Incoming.
Oh, I'm... If you don't die here, you're gonna cry, and I mean die by at least 10 times. Oh, really? Oh, I didn't realize 2 people are already down. Shit. Hurry up, you turd. You got this.
Find some cover.
Oh,
Hey, more trouble.
Oh shit, I keep forgetting that's that dude's throwing stuff at us. Trying to get her. Yeah, we got this now. And oh shit, and Kyle coming with this up as well, goddamn! Thank you very much, my man. How are you doing today, dude?
Hey, over here.
No, I was trying to save him. Ah, fuck. Well, let me just let me get to my. This game won't let me look over on my fucking screen. Let me scroll. It won't let me off my screen. It's keeping me trapped. Okay, hang on. There we go. If I just hold, oh, and then I can do this. Fucking hell. Fizzle's built different. That's right, I am. Yeah. You're tired as fuck. Just got vaccinated. Nice. Was that your? I'll assume it was your first one, actually, right? Bonk ass, bitch ass, sucker ass, motherfucker. I did that so I only did it so Mojo would feel better about his terrible lack of skill. Yeah. Don't worry, we only have to restart it completely again. You suck.
Must be something really bad.
You learned just say how much you could buy the church for. Ooh, how much?
Full scan.
And is it ridiculous or not too ridiculous? Your first was today. I have to get your second dose on the 6th of August. Fucking A. So consider it. There's no interior, but it could be made a large warehouse. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool then.
black slime is a
Super reasonable price for it, really.
toxic to both body and soul.
Beat the, you. I already know you said it took you like 25 times. You said that. No, wait. You said at least triple numbers it took you, right? Yeah, that's what you said.
In other words, the stains don't ever come out.
Your second is also in August. Beautiful.
Ooh, watch yourself.
Yeah, but obviously I'm not going to be trying to buy that church for anything. But how much would it cost? As a warehouse as well, that's going to be way cheaper than an actual, like, property, right? Like, crazy cheaper. Because I think the warehouse is, like, 50 grand plus or something for a bigger one, which isn't, like, anywhere near as bad as an actual, like, what a church could cost, you know?
Looks like an opera singer.
First time, hard mode, melee, only no teammates.
What's
Man,
that supposed to mean?
sometimes I feel like the teammates
Chaser?
would be better if they weren't here, you know?
Plump girl,
Oh, hello.
blind date, like her personality, and you guys can't go.
Oh, fucking hell, she just came straight down.
Look you. Hold him.
I'm trying. Alright, get in your hole. Come on!
Watch it. Green Billy Cross.
They let her get away. Oh shit. She went super fast.
Don't cross the stream.
Well, better do better at aiming then.
Here they come. Look out! Above you! Bravo! Take that back to the brick. My favorite part of this job.
Oh shit, teammates, Dale is your legal guy? In what sense? Like he's your lawyer or the one that doesn't do crime?
Grab him and slam him, noob. Okay, get a scan.
Yeah, great.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Hey, over here.
Not wrong with the chubbies. That's it. And these churches definitely Kyle. Good to have certain presents too. Ah,
I'm hit.
like Christmas.
Need some help. Look out.
Oh, fucking Venkman's down as well. Why are you around here, mate? Why are you even here?
Hey, more trouble.
Carl made the church what it is today. Oh, is he a bricklayer? Crime. How could you insert? What were you even trying to say there? Carl needs to go to confession at ASB. Oh, goddamn, I was reading! And I hope the good father who's listening isn't squeamish, right? Oh, fucking hell, you're down already?
What's your aim?
What's my aim? I shot these dudes. There's nowhere near you.
Good. Now just bring him in. Blast!
Oh, fucking hell, look how speedy he is. Oh shit, there's Marshmallow Man.
Ow! That was ow there.
Lay it out. They felt that one in Pittsburgh. Good work.
Oh, we still got this lady. I forgot about her. Okay.
Just did a service to humanity, kid.
Thanks.
Hindenburg is a terrible show.
Yeah, right. Pfft, Mojo couldn't do that second time. You know. Okay, blast stream recoil decrease. Oh, okay. Boss and darts supercharge. Boss and damage immunity. That could be pretty good. There's quite a few upgrades, hey. Alright, let's go. Oh shit. Okay. Insinuate. Okay, that was the word you were going for, was it? Okay. I thought you were trying to throw the ghost into walls. You kind of have to slam it to get it a bit sleepy, but you can just try and slam it into the actual portal instead. You swear teammates on this game all have 1 fucking health HP. Yeah, right? And they will share, yeah, as soon as they heal you, they lose that HP. How did I only die once? Because I'm, I guess I'm just, like Bakura said, I'm built different. Yeah. Slams the da. Slams the da.
All shiny and clean. I love it.
That was easy. What are you on about, Mojo?
Say, is that you?
I reckon Mojo was just afraid of a ghost. Oh. Yeah, also though, on another note, obviously this is meant to be what the third movie was going to be. Super interesting, the third movie was potentially going to open with Marshmallow Man again. Man, fuck y'all.
He's looking for something.
Ah, that was a really bad bomber
looking for
impression,
something or
Mojo. I wouldn't do that
someone.
one again. Okay. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. When it's something strange in your neighborhood, who you gonna call? The police. Slime meter slowly builds up on its own when wrangling a ghost. Oh, I thought it said the slime meter builds up when you. Well, I suppose it might still do it, I guess, but when you move. What's up with Congress all up on my ass and shit? Whilst moving, press the jump evade button to quickly dodge attacks. Are you crashing on me? Because it seems like you're... Oh, no. Wait for the program to respond. Let's hope for the best. You guys can't see it, but it's done that like... You know when your screen goes milky when a game's crashing? Best I fucking saved my last spot. Otherwise, I know it's Mojo who's just... who's done this because he's upset that we got through that too quick. I'm going to have to close it. Fuck. You're praying like a motherfucker that'll be started at the last bit. I really hope I'm not, because it was a bit of a longer one, right? Tinder gives you ads in a form of profiles. What happens if you like them? Do you get on a date? Do you get cash money? No, you buy whatever they've sold, probably. It's like if you see it's, oh, that's a nice holiday, I'll swipe right on that. That means you now own an island, but you're in a lot of fucking debt. That's basically how Tinder makes its money. Boom boom da ba da ba da boom 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 ba ba da ba da boom 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 ba ba da ba da boom boom. That's me trying to click my buttons and my mouse at the same time to make this go faster, but oh, I could press escape. Shit. Do. This last save was 8 minutes ago. It didn't save it. I hate you, Mojo. I hate you, Mojo. Why would you do this to me? For fuck's sake. God damn you, Mojo. And that was you. I just can't prove it. God damn it. Happily taken some debt for Private Island. I suppose, yeah, I mean, gonna have debt anyway.
Black slime. Black slime is a hazardous form of...
Yeah, right, I won't be able to do this now, like, at all.
To both body and soul. Very dangerous. Egon and I haven't developed clothes and boots sufficient enough to insulate against the negative psychokinetic effects of this stuff yet, so be careful.
In other words, the stains don't ever come out.
Come on.
Ooh. Watch yourself!
I'll watch myself. Okay. Let's go. Already done this once. We should be able to easily do it again. The trick is just kill these pricks.
Looks like an opera singer, and a hefty one at that. Peter, you better take her.
What's that supposed to mean? I'm a chubby chaser? I take up one plump girl for a blind date, like her personality, and you guys can't let it go.
Okay.
Look out! Above you!
Stars shining bright above you.
I don't have time for you right now, burn oil!
I brought a whisper cause Texas went in start. What am I getting hit by? Motherfucker. You say grab him and slam him, but it doesn't let you slam him until you, like, it doesn't even let me catch them usually. Oh, that one did that time. It's so weird, like, sometimes I swear the thing doesn't work. Like, when you're like, it says like slam him and stuff, like, you can change your thing to do it. Oh, does it, oh, maybe it, every time you shoot it, oh, fuck's sake. Maybe every time you shoot, it does the normal beam until I also hold the button whilst doing it?
Hey, over here. Little help? Yo, little help?
Oh, that is how it is. Okay. Oh, that's a bit weird then. Okay. Okay, because I couldn't grab them before. I didn't realize you literally have to like press the button every time. I thought you just like one switch kind of thing.
I'm hit. Need some help.
God damn it! God damn it! Okay. Where did the Banshee lady go? There. Liberal Optimer! Oh, god damn it, where are you? Why, stop going down!
Behind.
Ah, fuck's sake, this is what happens when I try and save my teammates.
On your left.
On your left. Fucking Captain America ass looking ass motherfucker.
Hey, over here. Little help? Yo, little help?
No, you could go. Oh no, you do actually need a medic. For fuck's sake, you guys. You guys!
Help me.
Well, shoot something then, Venkman!
You suck!
You suck, Mojo!
On your left.
Ow! That was ow there.
I'm down. Help me.
I am busy!
Oh. Ow. Ammo. On the right.
Oh.
Good. Now just bring him in. Ha. Good just did a service to humanity, kid. Hindenburg is a
Okay.
wonderful show.
You can't bring me down, Mojo. Although it may well crash again. Who says God doesn't listen to prayers? It just came through in yours big time. That is true.
I love
Okay, let's try and skip that and see if it actually loads for us. Do you guys think people can get too big for their platform? What kind of platform? I mean, if it's got a certain weight load, then of course you could, yeah.
It is
I was asking for a
madness
cop
out here.
spin-off for Control,
The
really?
Stay Puft
Okay.
Marshmallow Man, star of the popular children's television show, is on a rampage. This is not the Stay Puft we've come to love. Fortunately, the Ghostbusters have arrived to put everything back to normal.
That's what we do, baby.
It's damaged. I've got to fix it or we won't stand a chance.
We need to get from here to there. Make sure the big boy doesn't find whatever he's looking for.
Good strategy. It's dangerous,
Wait.
though. That's a lot of open ground to cover.
All right, sport. Looks like it's me and you. Let's go across Times Square and get into the building Stay Puft is so interested.
Alright, let's do this, Dan Aykroyd. So,
If you think you can,
He knows you're there, Ray. I don't think he likes it.
how did he know we're here?
spot us. Keep moving.
Move where? Oh shit. Where are we moving to, Dan Aykroyd?
Keep away from those feet.
Jersey?
Stop you with the jelly. Boson will loosen him up.
Ow! Where the fuck are we meant to be going?
Nice boson. That really dinged him. Great job. Now see if he wants s'more. Get it? That's funny too, you know.
Oh. Oh dear. Crash Fizzle's game again, yeah. If you could, I wouldn't doubt it.
Some maneuvers. Stay close to me and as far away
Another
from
article
him.
about Amaranth and XQC showing shade at each other because of the content on Twitch. Right, okay. I totally believe Amaranth should get Twitch to do her thing elsewhere. Oh shit!
Beckman, you've got to distract him.
Venkman, are you getting
Ah!
off? getting caught.
Boson darts should do the trick. Hit him with boson darts! Go! Follow me, quick!
Yeah, you follow me, bitch.
Hit him with boson darts!
Oh! Ah! Fuck! You gonna get a shot and do some Charlie work? No worries, dude. We'll see you in a bit, my man. Hopefully I'll still be alive and probably nearly completed by that point, because, you know, I'm doing really well on this.
Okay, Ghostbusters. Just a level 5 thought form cross rip. The professionals are here. Everybody calmly exit the street.
People are blowing it out of proportion.
What the?
Trying to do... Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I was trying to understand, is Charlie meant he was going to do Kane, but it's Sunny. Yeah, it just means, yeah. It's the, like, the chores that no one wants to do, basically. Like, yeah. The bottom of the bottom chores, you know.
They got me! They got me! Uh-oh. He didn't find what he was looking for on the bottom floors. Come on.
Oh, no.
Get to the top floors.
Let's get to the top floors. Elevator going up.
All full. Going up.
Gonna tea.
Just passed gas. Catch the next one.
Relax, sir. We handle
Mojo, I'll
foul
store you some
vapors all the
sandwiches for your
time.
shares. Mojo hasn't got any shares left. He sold me shares for like half a sandwich and
for lunch, you said.
various
Find
sundries.
the building, you said. It'll be quiet, you said. You know you're fired.
You're right. I secretly knew our lives would be in danger and thought, hey, I'll make sure I trap Mark with me inside an elevator!
That's a good idea.
Excuse us. Could be trouble.
What was that strange thing that happened to me there? Oh shit, what can I interact with there? Oh, get a nice little drink. Oh, isn't that nice? I feel rehydrated.
Keep an eye out.
I'm ready to murder. Oh yeah, shit, sorry, yeah, we're doing a job. I thought it was just smashing. Am I meant to be trashing things? I'm assuming yes, I'm the good guy. So if stuff gets trashed, it was because it was meant to be trashed, for sure. I believe this is also how we make money. Well, I don't know if this is... I don't know if this makes us or loses us money, if I'm actually being real, but the meter goes up. But yeah, I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's a lot of fun to break things regardless. I can't access my upgrades at the moment. Huh, I can if I go this way though. Weird. Yeah, because like I'm making money, but I don't know if the more I break, the more money I get, or if the more I break, the more money I lose. All I know is there's a counter, and it's enjoyable to smash shit as much as you can. You would have thought bad because you're trashing a city and shit. Same, but it's incredibly fun to do. So why would they make something incredibly fun to do negative, you know? We're going to buy the boson damage immunity because I've hit myself with that more than enough times already. Okay. Maybe I'll try not breaking stuff this time round, but that doesn't seem like any way to play a computer game. Oh shit.
Find some cover. Watch it. Watch out.
Fuck it, oh, look how many over there.
Don't let them circle
Thank God I did the immunity thing, man.
Stay Puft is working overtime, generating mutual treatment.
I'm glad we can kill all these marshmallow fetuses, though.
Like crazed hormonal teenagers on a post-final exam, Bender.
Yeah, right. Is this where you want to go? Let's go then.
Good shooting.
Thanks! Oh shit, more.
Ready to be a hero?
I was born not ready. So give me a minute.
Beckman, come in, please.
Oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have opened that.
Chunks of the building missing everywhere. You are required at the site now.
So happy to be in demand, but these sugar balls have got me nailed down. I can't get past them. They're disgusting, and they're unhealthy.
Did I mention there's a spectacularly beautiful lady in distress?
I'll be right there.
Wow, so vain. How did you know there was a lady?
No! Somebody help me!
Never!
Now, miss, just relax. No sudden movements. You're perfectly safe now. Sudden movements!
Oh! Oh shit. Wait, did she die? Because I don't see her.
Whoa! Look at them all! Wow, check it out, kid. What a view, huh? Manhattan. I love it.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice view, I guess, yeah. Anyone here play Fortnite and get excited for new crossovers? You see Loki has joined the roster. Fair. I don't think I know anybody, really. I know my sister and my cousin play a bit of Fortnite, but I don't think I know anyone in our circle that actually plays Fortnite. Wow, he did get it really quick.
It's okay. Dr. Venkman has you. You're fine now.
You didn't spill your coffee, did you, Peter?
Ray, I got coffee for all of us. But the little monster spilled it. And what's the story with those things anyway?
Good question, let's go.
Was that a manifestation of ghosts?
Yeah.
Phew!
Just me. Would you like to take the most direct route out of here, or the scenic route to its lady's choice?
There's a stairwell over here. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, grace under pressure. I appreciate that in a lady.
Okay, Slugger, let's
In a
do this
lady.
quick before
He doesn't like that in
Tubby
men.
out there figures out what we're up to.
Are you doing it? Oh,
I think Tubby Soft Squeeze has dog ears, Ray.
yeah, right. Open the door. Good kick. Let's go. Escape!
We go up then, to the roof.
Oh shit, that's... Oh shit, escape!
Well, help! Stay Puft spotted us. Move, move!
New weight loss tool prevents mouth from opening more than 2 millimeters. Man, that sounds horrible. I used to get lockjaw when I was a bit younger. Like, I don't know why, my jaw just always like would seize up at times. And like, that's one of the horriblest things, man. Why would you ever want that?
Well, that's
Why wouldn't you just like, you know, cut out your stomach? You can't be fat if you don't have a stomach. It's just science.
Come on, let's go.
Why did they build this building using foam bricks? I know, right? Bet they really regret that one now. Ow, who the fuck shoot me with guns? Like I am, sure. Ah, I missed you, son of a bitch. Ow. Oh, I got a grill on my arm!
Just don't do it.
Did we get him? Oh no, it wasn't X, so I got to press. Oh, it's F, isn't it? Oh, god damn it! Oh, god damn it, he keeps getting out of it. Come on. How does he keep getting... It's one of the others drawing him that way more? Just go in your portal, man. Bring him to the portal, you dumb bastards. Whew. Oh, they actually laid a trap over there. I didn't even notice. Well, good job, guys. Jeez. And you. Good job, you piece of shit. Ah, shit. Ghosts. Ow, fuckers with guns. Oh. Yeah, no shit, dude.
Take a hole. Now that hurt. Spectacular.
Oh, hello, pigeons.
Up there. Stay on it.
I don't mean to alarm you, but we have lost sight of Stay Puft.
Strong signal.
Okay. Nope. Stop jumping, you funker. Hey, I found him.
Get its attention.
Oh shit! Set the roof on fire.
Great job, you guys.
Oh, that's what we meant to do?
Free s'mores for everybody from 54th Street to 5th Avenue. Happy
Hells
Thanksgiving.
yeah. Happy Turkey
Here he
Day.
goes! The big evil sailor all the way to the... Oh! Not quite. Didn't make it. Hey, Ray, say 3 guys, the size of your finger, knocked you off the side of a 30-story building and you had to climb all the way back up to tear them apart. How mad would you be at those 3 little dinky types?
I'd go with mighty pissed.
Okay, and throw in a sugar high, too.
That giant blue and white toy man thing, or whatever,
Marshmallow.
is still coming. It's climbing the building.
I'm impressed with his agility, considering his complete lack of bones.
Fair.
Good news. We've got the Super Slammer back on pulse and Ecto-1 is rolling. We're repositioning now. Can you hold the Stay Puft there for a few minutes?
Yeah, sure.
If by few you mean less than 1, then sure, we can do that.
Hey, did somebody tell you it was breaking?
Was that me?
No sweat,
Oh,
kid.
shit.
We've got you.
Well, as long as you're down there, would you see if you could knock off Mr. Sweetness?
They don't seem too fussed. I just fell off a building. Oh.
All right there, Sunshine. Are you okay? You're all strapped in. We've got a good tight grip on your belt. Here he comes. The Big Daddy manifestation himself. A raging
Oh, shit.
densely packed marshmallow. Oh, boy. Melt him, Chief. Give him full stream.
He's right, Rookie. Your health insurance doesn't begin for another 89 days.
Oh, just do this? Okay.
More of those minis. How many can he generate?
From 200,000 square feet of solid marshmallow? Probably 60.
Oh shit, didn't see these little buggers. Oh no.
Boson darts should do the trick.
Is that his upset look? What do you think?
Oh, look at him, poor little bugger. I actually feel a little bad.
Boson darts.
I nearly murdered him. I've nearly murdered Giant Marshmallow. Let's go. Right in the gob.
Got him on the rope, Slapster. Land the last one so we can go home.
Get down. Hey.
You killed my dessert.
Oh, Jesus. This is
Scoreboard
weird,
reads
Ango.
Ghostbusters 2, Gozer the Gozerian 0. Looking like a real big leaguer out there, champ.
We did well.
Peter, we're in position. The trap is set. We're prepared to capture Stay Puft. Where is he?
He's that white puddle you're driving through?
Timing's off by just a hair, Egon, but we're glad the trap is working again.
Could someone pull me up, please? Thank you.
I guess I owe you guys my life.
She's clean.
Give it to us.
How do you feel?
Now.
Pretty good. All extremely weird things considered.
So far, just another screwed up day at the office. You know, I never forget a face attached to all the rest of that. I think we met earlier at the Sedgwick Hotel. You gave me the sideshow chicken drop.
My name's Alyssa. Dr. Alyssa Selwyn. And
I am Dr. Peter Venkman. And that's Egon. It's Ray, Winston, and you met him.
Uh-huh.
I like how he doesn't even have a name.
Have you
It's
ever
just
been involved
rookie.
in this type of quantum temporal rift event before?
A quantum what?
It's
Quantum
called
temporal
arcing,
rift
a
event.
large pulse of
Jeez.
psychic energy.
Actually, yes. I was at the museum. A pulse of blue light surged through the building, and then I was standing outside a room on the 13th floor of an old hotel.
The Sedgwick.
The Sedgwick doesn't have a 13th floor.
Uh-oh.
It was pulling me like a magnet. I felt as though I was in a deep dream. I came to and ran over.
Believe her, I've seen magnets in real life.
It's a temporary office.
They
while
do
I'm
actually
in town. I came to
draw
do some
stuff to it.
research after I woke up.
We'd like you to come to our lab so we can run some brief tests and ask you more questions.
Here's an easy one. Would you like to go out for Thai? Mexican? Japanese?
Wow, Dr. Venkman. That time you almost went 45 seconds without saying something abrasive. Want to try for a whole minute next time?
A doctor, and a fiery one, too. Charming. So charming.
I mean, wouldn't you have a little taste of the marshmallow at least? I have to interview her. Oh, he's back on that game again. He loves it. Why do I have a horse tail? What the hell is that? Is that like a captor? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Okay, there she is. I don't want to know the reason that you love me. Do, 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 do.
So you know so much about Gozer because...
Because I'm a specialist in ancient Mesopotamian cultures and architecture.
Okay.
Sumerian primarily. Gozerian more specifically. I'm here as a guest curator for the Gozerian exhibit that's opening tomorrow at the Natural History Museum.
Oh, we've
You
got
are
one of
aware
those.
that we also have some history with Gozer.
Yes, of course.
Gozer was a bush leaguer before he met us. A strictly farm team deity. We put him on the map.
But our getting stiffed on invites to opening night, just an oversight, right?
I don't have anything to do with that.
That, gentlemen, was all me.
Who are you?
And I can assure you it was not an oversight.
Oh, that's
Oh,
rude.
by the way, you have visitors.
Thanks.
Thanks, Janine. Your first-class lookout. Walter Peck. I did not recognize
Me
you
neither,
without the
'cause I've
mayor's
never heard of
backside
him before.
attached to your nose.
Get him.
Okay, everybody, put him
Oh,
back
there
in
he
their
is.
seats. Apologies, Dr. Selwyn. Are
This
you
sounds like the guy
alright?
from
I think so.
Basketball.
But I'm worried about the exhibit.
Are you kidding? You can't buy publicity like this. The guest curator of the Gozer exhibit, the expert Peck recommended, is attacked the night before the opening by Gozer himself? Please tell me that was Gozer.
Oh, this guy has some great enthusiasm.
Gozer manifested in a familiar form, one he had used before, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, but this event was weaker than his first encounter with us.
Ha! That's all I need. Thanks.
Come on, Jock. What's the idea of bringing Peck around here? Oh, have I coughed at the wrong time?
Listen, here's the deal. You and Peck and all you guys are going to work together.
Oh, okay.
What? No way, no how.
Sounds good to me.
Impossible.
Look, this city has given you at least a dozen contracts for the jails, courthouses, and wharves. You guys want to grow your business. Get some county and state work, too. I'm all for it. You've been big supporters and great for my campaign.
Well, some have said our endorsement is what got you elected.
But not out loud. Anyway, after all the damage you've been causing lately, the city council wants you under close supervision
What damage?
for a period of no less than 6 months.
We
I
filed
haven't made any
once on
damage.
time.
That's
There's no need for
ridiculous.
extra supervision.
Like, show me the cash equivalent of how
Funny
much
guy,
damage I've
Venkman.
made.
You've always
Jeez.
been my favorite. Well, that's where your old friend Peck comes in. He's annoying, a stickler for the rules. In other words, the perfect Peck for the job. He's our new head of Peacock.
I like that his name itself is an insult now.
PCOC, Paranormal Contracts Oversight Commission. And my first official act is going to be suspending you clowns' operating license.
Clearly not clowns.
Lighten up, Peck.
The outfits are not even like in the
Launch
least
your
bit colourful.
investigation if you have to, but for now, just keep them under control and my office in the loop. But remember, if the Ghostbusters cease to exist, so does your job.
Yeah, and then you'll just
So
be having a
you need
pinstripe
each
suit for
other.
nothing.
Beautiful in an ironic, symmetrical kind of way, isn't it?
Hey, Mulligan, come on.
It's Mayor Mulligan to you, Venkman.
Get him.
So, we have an understanding? This kind of protects us all. You want more government business, I want to keep my approval rating, and Peck wants his little fiefdom. You play by the rules. Easy. We all get what we want, and the city council gets what they need. Okay, big night tomorrow, Alyssa. Get some rest.
Don't get kidnapped again.
So, now that we're all friends, can we get invites to the museum opening?
Not likely. But I'll be seeing you soon. You can count on that.
We'll just break into the museum opening. It's blatantly gonna be ghosts. It's a museum. It's like a little holiday home for them.
Doesn't Peck look exactly like the kind of guy who'd accidentally walk into the stream of a Bosun glider?
Get
I'm
him.
just saying, it could.
You suck!
You suck! How you doing, 90 baby? Go to extra minute. But the phone was ringing. No one else.
Bitch better have my money.
Oh, that's Janine. Oh yeah, this is just a lady. I thought. Janine,
Schedule a visit.
is it for me?
Next
Janine, is it for me?
Thursday,
Janine.
sometime between 8 a.m.
Janine,
and
stop
4
ignoring me. I'm
p.m.
smashing chairs. Is it for me?
I'm afraid that's the soonest opening we have.
Is that Belinda? Is it Belinda?
All
Put me on the phone to
I
Belinda.
got you down for that.
No, put me on the phone first.
Oh, it won't be necessary
Janine!
to call before they arrive.
Motherfucker.
Believe me, you'll know
But
it.
yeah. How have you been, 90 baby?
That'll be fine.
Your dog dog walks looking fucking amazing. So you guys want to go kill some ghosts? Oh, actually, can I upgrade? Have I got enough to upgrade? I've got 12,000. All right, let's just go through them. Like that. All right, let's go, guys. Let's save the world.
Ray and I have been talking.
And we think we should have a look at the museum. Whatever happened tonight, it started there.
Okay, I'll take one for the team. Stay with Alyssa. You guys go with Winston and the recruit. I'll be your personal protection.
What about Peck?
It's pretty
He's
valiant.
supposed to be informed of everything we do.
What he doesn't know can't hurt us.
But what if he doesn't know about bullets? Bullets can hurt you. He might not know about nunchucks. Nunchucks can hurt you. He's probably never heard of like kunais. Kunais can hurt you. This guy's an idiot.
Tune it in.
Been right, you're visiting Wales and got your second vaccination. Hell yeah, dude. Nice. How's Wales and how you feeling after your second
Great lady.
vaccination?
Let's get her for real this time.
It's just good to know you've had it done now, right? Like it's all done. You've done what you need to do.
It's been there for 104 years. Where's it going to go today?
This thing you guys have for the Great Lady borders on the weird. You know that, right?
She made us look like schmucks. Not this time.
Oh, and another thing. Pat called and says that I'm required to tell him where you are and what you are up to.
Getting donuts.
Tell him he can meet us at the museum. We'll be there. Eventually.
We're literally there now. Do-do-do-do. Library. Look at this museum. Can't believe they've lied to us.
Big crowd.
Yeah, right. They love us.
This.
Captain McMahon from the 12th says there was a massive disturbance. Real fireworks show.
Can't pull my gun out.
Not much going on now.
Maybe. But didn't there used to be 2 lions out here?
Check for valences.
Uh-oh.
Interesting. Ray, look at this.
I'm not Ray.
Big spikes. Hey, Cadet, you need to see this.
I am.
Stand back.
Oh, hello.
There they go.
Whoa! Double full torso animators!
Why can't we shoot them?
After them!
You heard Stance. Let's move.
Ah. Wales is saying, Pit Cloudy, only had injection today. Okay, so you expect a headache tomorrow? Well, like, when I had my first injection, I felt a bit tired that night, and my arm was a bit achy for like a day or two. The second injection, I felt fine. Like, I didn't, like, straight afterwards, didn't feel anything. Nothing happened after that, like. So you might find that, like, whatever you got is lessened.
There they are.
Couple of class 5 animators.
Yeah, hopefully it won't be as bad for you this time. I guess it's only a booster compared to, like, the full shot as well, so. Hopefully you'll be alright, you know?
Alright, take it easy.
Hey, he said take it easy. That's not easy.
I'm trying to scan these bitches.
Miss.
Sorry, Z.
How about a little warning next time, fellas?
That one's a beast, Ray. Let's chase him down. Winston, check that next doorway. See if he
Yeah,
has
chill,
any
Winston.
friends.
Leave a haunted room. I got no problem with that.
Right?
Hey, Cadet, to use the shock blaster, it's best to get in fairly close. Its effects are powerful, but dissipate quickly over distance.
Shock
And
blaster.
please be careful. It's a prototype. We're trusting you with it.
Oh,
The
shit.
stasis stream will temporarily slow down paranormal entities. If you train the stream on the target long enough, you can actually stop it entirely.
Okay.
This is how you use it.
How'd you use it? Press 2. Oh, shit.
A freeze ray. A stasis stream. This has nothing to do with cold, but the effect is similar.
When do you have the time to work on all this stuff, Egon?
I've been conducting an experiment
pretty cool.
in which I sleep an average 14 minutes a day. Leaves me a lot of time to work.
Great. Ready to roll. Hey, Haas, you think you can handle that little fella yourself? We'll meet you back here.
What?
Let's get a scan.
Rock to the rhythm, rock the rhythm. Excuse me. Cool, I got the... Oh. Did I throw that or did someone else throw that? I must have accidentally thrown that. Hey. Oh shit.
Stay alert. Keep your PKE meter up. Animators can hide in anything. Hey! Ugly just shot around that corner!
What is moving? My PKE just gave up though. Hello, Ghost. Would you like to play? Can't go through these doors, can I? I'm not getting readings from anywhere now. I feel like I'm at least meant to go down here. Yeah, we're having some weirdness down here at one point. There's a little bit of a doorway here, actually, you know. It's a big old room here, in fact.
Look, it's the cadet!
I think it's the library.
Strong emanations, no direct source though.
They followed our guy in here. He gave us the slip.
Detecting a very strong anomaly here.
Uh-oh, here comes something big.
That is a forensic level 6 high-dimensional attractor.
No shit.
Egon, did I mention what a good idea you had to come up on the balcony?
I feel I'm just going to switch back to this one, see what happens.
Slow it down.
Fine. How you doing again, Major Baby? How's Charlie work?
Slow it down somehow.
Oh, I fell over.
Stop it cold.
I mean, I'm trying. Oh! Hey, I'm feeling squeaky clean, no fucking A. That's the main thing, man. Oh.
On your left.
I swear this is not slowing this dude down, like, at all. I feel like I'd have been doing way better with the other gun.
On the right. It's losing strength. Keep tearing it down.
Busting is making me feel good, you know?
Power is emanating from a single focal object.
Look, the local object is temporarily vulnerable. Grab it with your containment screen. Wrangle it away. You got it! Fantastic! Man, how much PK energy must it take to collect and animate an entity like that?
A lot. A lot of very angry energy.
How easy
Oh,
is that?
okay.
Not so fast. I'm getting some big fluxes here.
Oh shit, I caused a bit of damage.
I think it's her. Yes!
Hello.
Yes, it is her! Eleanor Twitty, the librarian!
Look, there she is. Meet us at the stairway door.
Oh.
She went down that way.
Winston, check upstairs to see if the other Phantom doubled back. Roger.
Shut us again.
Stop shushing me. Who shushes? You know? It ain't easy being enough live pest control, right? Oh. Noises.
PKE's out and try to be quiet.
La 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 la. I know, who just shushes a person? You don't know what that person's like. That might be a
Say
murderer.
we're close to something.
Ray,
You got something?
I've got something right here.
Is it?
Kid, check that out.
Oh shit.
Ooh, she keeps shushing us. That's her, the Gray Lady. She's the first ghost we ever hunted. Man, I wish Venkman was here.
I'm pretty sure Venkman doesn't.
Easy now. She's real skittish.
Lost.
Let's go. We'll cut her off.
These readings are off the charts.
Yeah, right.
Now charts.
Yeah, that's it. Oh.
Wow. Now listen, this place is reading like a psychic pressure cooker. Find your thrower. Everybody stick close together.
Here, this way, quick.
Okay, so much for stick together. New plan is fan out.
Flexible approach, Ray.
There are 2 hostile spirits roaming around in here.
2 that we know about.
What?
Now I got you. What? Oh no, kid, look out! It's coming your way!
Temperature's dropping. Event imminent. Brace yourselves.
An event.
Guys, I'm in the periodical archives looking at a stack of old newspaper clippings, all about some nut named Edmund Hoover, a.k.a. the
Stop shushing me, lady.
Go on. This dude has a history you should know about. He was a rare book collector who seduced Eleanor Twitty, the head librarian of this place.
The Gray Lady?
That would be my guess.
Be careful who you're seducing, you know. You're going to get mentored this weekend for Final Fantasy 14. Nice. I love when after further attempts to find him, he just walks through the door at the end. They look up like they're about to torture his rude shushing ass. Yeah, right. Yeah, like that's one of the episodes was like, yeah, maybe it's best that we don't know what they did after that. So we need more accommodation. No, Iron, stop shushing me. How dare you? No, don't you throw one of his shushes as well. First of all, get your own shushes, but. I'm stuck in a nerd maze. Man, fucking books. This is too dangerous. Books are assholes. Ow! Fucking books! Revenge of the Nerds or some shit, right? Fuck. Oh, I can knock those over, that's... Stay down, you little bitch. Got one. Ow. Looks off on nerds. You bet Iron reads words and stuff. Bet he does. Oh, get him, Iron. That's a pretty hefty retort.
Okay, guys, it's dead up here.
Wait, I want to see what that was about.
We may need to get back to you on that.
I just want to see what this picture's about. Employee of the month, September. Huh, well this room's a bit shitty now. That's a little Easter egg, I'm guessing. Hey, get out of my way. Hey, his picture's over there as well. They're posting Employee of the Month everywhere now.
Hey kid, what's your 20? I'm in some kind of a dark tunnel moving fast towards a bright light. Ooh, class 1 swarmers! Pesky but combustible.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, fucking hell. Ow. Oh, fucking hell. These books were savage. These books went hard, man. Jesus Christ. I may never read again. No way, you're so cool you don't even know what words are. That's true. Although that being said, the icons you're using to portray what you want to say right now are somewhat similar to words.
Okay, guys, it's dead up here. The good kind of me. You all cool?
We may need to get back to you on that.
Hey kid, what's your 20? I'm in some kind of a dark tunnel moving fast towards a bright light. Ooh, class 1 swarmers! Pesky but combustible.
God damn.
There's the big fish. See what he did? Give him a new home in our containment facility.
Oh! I got slapped hard.
Throw your trap, Rook. Look, did you see that? More than I expected.
No. Twins? Where's the dude we actually want to fight? Over there? Ah. Oh, god damn it.
Get behind something. On the way. Ooh, that's smart. Stand clear. Stand clear. Above you.
God damn it, every time. Oh shit, he's down now. Oh, I'm down now.
Now that hurt. Get out of here. Man down, man down.
Oh, he's down? Fuck. Get up. Ah, I'm down.
Scan it for the database. You got it.
There you go, scanned. Let's try and rack up user free for the 5th night in a row now. Nice. Fish, do you like cinnamon? No, I detest it. Yeah, I really don't like it. I think it's bad tasting. There are Cinny jelly beans in your tub. What do you mean? Like special ones?
You got him on the road.
Oh.
Turn around.
Yeah, I can see him now.
Nicely done, cadet.
In your tub of jelly beans, there are cinnamon and mint for the majority. Okay, that sounds like a weird combination.
Congratulations, Ray. But I'm near Special Collections. Someone you've been wanting to meet again is here.
We did cause a bit of damage in this room. And they're just normal flavored jelly beans, or are they like
Keep an eye on the
infused
twitchy
jelly
ones.
beans or some
They'll really
shit?
crease you if you aren't careful.
Ow!
You all right?
No.
Watch it. Get him. Mind the paper cuts. Roast them.
Yeah, I think for the most part, this gun is still better than that freeze gun. That freeze gun seems just shit. Okay. Didn't cause much damage. Let's carry on. Oh, hello.
That's some serious bad juju here. Scan it for the guide now. It has some here. This is really useful. I hear you making my way over. You rang his bell, cadet. Not me, them. You got it. Look behind you.
Oh yeah, an adventure poster. Thanks, Ray. Oops. Well, I'm down here now, so fuck it. Oh, hello.
Looks like the Grey Lady makes her own reinforcements. Keep your eyes open, team. She's upping the ante.
Thanks for the warning, Ray. But I have no idea what you're talking about.
You may want to just take our word for it.
Oh. Hey Ray, stuff's floating, buddy. I'm just gonna go sniff the fart.
I missed that, Ray. Please repeat.
Enough with the shushing! Well, at least we're getting closer.
Could not hear a word of that, Ray. Ray.
Boo. Fucking hell, that's a lot of books. Oh, he's actually down. Oh shit, MPGW baby! Thank you very much for the raid there, my man. How you doing today? Oh, there he is.
Help!
I'm trying. I was trying to get you. I need your help. Hey, my girl, lovely to see you too. How are you both doing? And thank you for doing the shout out, my man. Fucking nerd. Alright.
Gives you the creeps, huh?
Yeah.
Good work.
Fucking nerds, man.
We need to
Getting
get out.
savage. And you're playing some Fall Guys. Nice. I haven't played that in ages. How is it now? It was cool back then when I did play it. I'm gonna Peter was like, I'm gonna make Fizzle like him go, hey PT baby. Damn. I'm too damn predictable. But
Winston,
hopefully it's a comfort. Yeah.
In the periodical section. Checking the box scores from the Knicks game last night. Why?
Tell us more about this collector, Winston.
Yeah, it was good. Got to the finals a few times.
Says
Fucking
here
A, nice.
that
Oh,
this
we liberate.
collector
Okay,
used
nice.
the Grey Lady to get to the rare books in her
I'm glad
care.
you had a dope time on it, for sure.
Specifically, a book called, get this, the Gozerian Codex.
Oh shit, that could be a codex or something.
Yeah, and when she found out what he was up to, she dumped him.
Smart lady.
Makes me feel
Not
loved.
really.
Yeah,
Evidently,
sweet.
he murdered her.
That's the main purpose.
The Grey Lady was his first victim, but he killed a bunch more.
And let me guess, he collected their bodies just like he
And welcome.
collected
You've walked into
Bingo, Ray, you get to buy me dinner.
Ghostbusters, the game,
And here's the
which is
last
basically
one.
like
Seconds
the
before he was
spiritual
hanged,
third
he said he
movie
would
of
return
sorts.
as
Like it was, I
Azaglo,
believe the
some
script
sort
of this
god, to
was
keep
originally going to be
watch
for the
over the
movie,
library
but
and
then they
every
adapted
rare
it to be a
book in
game
its
instead.
collection.
So yeah, it's been pretty good so far. It's actually been really good so far.
Sounds
Like
the kind we run into
lots
all
of
the
real
time.
good humor. It's obviously written by like the actual guys. It's voice acted
scan,
fully
don't you?
as well. So nearly spilled my drink. Let's go, Ray. Hey, little pandy bear. Hydration is key. Yes, I think Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis actually wrote this.
Okay, I'm not saying that's a bad sign, but it sure isn't
What
a
are you
good
saying
one.
then? Did something happen?
That'll
Oh
do
shit!
it for a minute.
Did you see that? I can do upgrades too. 12,000. Let's see. Oh. So owned. Recent touch, supercharge. All right. I can't believe Mojo didn't know about any of these upgrades until the end of the game. It's so brutal, man. I'm guessing we're going this way, yeah? New books rare. Wait, how can they be rare if they're new? That's just bullshit. Bullshit. Blast backwards.
You hear that?
I did.
It's around here someplace.
It really is. Oh. I found stuff.
Uh-huh. Somebody's in here.
Hello? We're the Ghostbusters.
It's children. What are they saying?
I just had to do that the whole time.
Come out, wherever you are. Oh boy, we're not alone.
Ah!
Ugh, I gotta be more careful. You alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. What's the matter with you? Why does it have to be children?
I think they're trying to tell us something. What else did Hoover collect?
Yep. Let's do that quickly. If you'll only do the catchphrase 2 besides cursing at the game. Cursing can be a catchphrase, for sure. Oh, learn some actual like curses, like some ancient curses. You took like a step forward as I did. But he's not allowed to go further than I am.
I cannot tell.
He's only allowed to go a certain distance from me.
Oh, come on, why not? No, I can't. Anyway, how is your sex
You
life?
reckon it must be in part of the remaster like Taxis on Sleeping Dog? Yeah, that's exactly it, yeah. That's your catchphrase, there you go, yeah. Trying to think of one, but catchphrases are hard. I mean, we have a really good one here, that's Holy Sasquatch Heals, we're at it again. That was voted top 3 by Time Magazine. That's a good one, right? And the New Yorker.
You got that right, Scooter.
That's right.
Here's the place. Special collections. These rooms are packed with rare and valuable volumes.
Your mum's a rare and valuable volume. Boom. Roasted.
Okay, she's in here with Egon. No noise.
Almost.
Oh boy.
Kill her!
They're throwing the whole science fiction section.
Oh, hello!
Can't pass through the shield.
You can't.
Their shields. Use the capture stream on their shields.
Oh, just, you know, kill him.
Remember how you were saying Print was dead?
I wish.
Now where'd she go?
Valence is up. She definitely left a trace somewhere. Big spike. Right here.
Gotcha. Ooh. One in a Scooby-Doo. It's a book.
I didn't even know this area existed.
Right.
Looks like the janitors didn't either.
Hey, you don't need a damn catchphrase, you are your own catchphrase. How does that work? Mad Hatter? That's not. I'm mad as a hatter, I guess. Maybe, yeah. Hey, gang, what's the action? Best catchphrase, it's true. That and news.
He's hurting.
Solid vaporization.
That way.
Just gonna have a quick shower.
What are those? I don't recognize them from Tobin's.
No.
News. He's trying to have your Sasquatch become a policeman or a lawyer in GRP, but he's been turned down by PD. Can he say any real words? Does pop count as a catchphrase? It really does. But that's magnitudes. And briefly that other dude. But it's magnitudes, properly, yeah. Pop!
Take a look at this place. I could spend a month taking inventory of these books.
I couldn't. That'd be incredibly boring. Oh, hi.
Wow. Dig that.
Didn't mean to do that.
Ray, I'm not entirely convinced this is the
Pub 1 magnitude! Pub 1!
Hey, I'll bet this is a trap.
Welcome back, Ray.
Shit. Uh-oh, we got friends.
We've all got friends, no need to boast.
I'm having serious doubts about the structural integrity of this sub-basement.
Yeah, right.
It's moving again! Over to the left!
Hang on. Let me quickly, I think I missed more in chat. Let me quickly scroll. And scroll. It's a census, but they are not very linguistic. Okay, nice. Pop Captain, yeah. Can we attend community college together? I'd fucking love it. Also, Mocker, are you a fan of Community? If so, have I told you that last year a bunch of us made a community-based paintball game? Based on Community, yeah. Which you think is fine for Public Defender, yeah. And start study group does it. Play paintball, yeah. Get him a job at the taco shop. The hair might be an issue with the cooking. That's the only issue, yeah. And you didn't know that? Oh, fucking it. And thank you for popping it up, Kyle, dude. Yeah, like, we made it last year. We released it. Fucking hell. Yeah, we released it this, technically this year. I think we released it we either released it at the very end of December or the very beginning of January. I can't actually remember now. But yeah, completely free, so feel free to give it a shot. But yeah, I fucking love me some Community. Kyle also did Mojo also loves Community. Kyle did a Community rewatch basically when I was making the game, so it was cool. So like certain stuff I was showing him, he was obviously able to like know the references and be like, oh shit, I just saw that one kind of thing at times, you know. Ah shit, Kyle cheated. At what? Maybe he can catch fish. Oh, that's true. We do need fishermen and hunters. Okay, I'm trying to... There we go. Oh, Kyle cheated. No chat commands? Oh, right. Yeah, he cheated by studying of sorts.
I'm telling you, this
Can't bet mode
substructure is
confirmed.
unstable. The ceiling
There you
can
go.
come down on top of us.
Woo! Kyle with that. Oh, itchy trigger finger.
Saw the support columns buckle.
Oh, where'd it go? Ow, you slut! Okay. Cheat and classic Kyle. I mean, learning commands and using sand in fights is not cheating.
Okay, I've got a beat on him. They felt back when you missed her.
Where'd he go?
Scan him, he's not in the guide.
Alright.
That's a great specimen.
Thanks.
You've got it.
You're almost there.
Oh, come on, boy. That's it. That's a good 20-pounder at least. Oh, yeah. Whew. Speaking of fish, did you see the taco shop storage? Yes. Yeah, I did. I saw it all. I tried to start cooking it for us and put it back in storage, but there was a slight issue. Yeah. And that's it, yeah. For Son of Mojo's eyes, get him!
Oh, boy.
Oh, you... Oh.
Creepy.
Right. This library's pretty vulnerable.
Those beams are wedged solid.
The mine was wedged solid.
Good place for the capture stream.
Get the fuck out of my way. Angela Davis mustache wearing ass motherfucker. Oh, Kyle got him hard. Fade around the side wearing motherfucker. You the Sammy Davis Award Jr. Afro haircut having ass motherfucker. Ooh, Dynamite Disco Dan is devastating. Ooh, Don Cornelius with a haircut having. No issue? Oh, was there an issue? Oh.
Wonder what's down
Oh, I
there.
could just slam it straight away, easy, okay.
Something big. And more than
What
likely
is this
there.
quote? Wait, which quote? Did I miss a quote? Hang on. Sans Suzanne. What? Oh no, he said he had issues with the taco shop. Yeah. That's that was just a funny quote. That was just science.
Really
Yeah.
dark down there.
And Norris Cole, dude, you have a great one, my man. I'll probably only be on for a bit longer myself. I'll probably take a break in a moment and then come back and do a bit more of this. But I'll probably only be on for like hour and a half or so more, I'd imagine, anyway. But you have a lovely day, and I'll catch you real soon, I'm sure, if not. One of many quotes to show, and this was nearest people's disabilities. I was an 8-year-old girl, and I have disabilities myself, so I was perfectly valid to be doing that. Oh. No, the shop's working fine. The shop's working exactly as it should, but because of that, I had a slight problem. But you'll find out about it one day. Ooh. All the supplies disappeared? Oh, no, all the supplies were there for me. All the supplies should be very much there. Everything was still in storage for me yesterday.
Can't say I'm a big fan of the
This
levels
protection
of
works great. Yeah.
emotional attraction.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. We're lucky there were only some old books for it to manifest with.
Recruit, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Let's keep moving.
Those books were worth $108 I just shot. That was a joke. Okay, fair. There's just been a lot of bugs, so I thought you meant there was genuinely another bug.
This is cheery. Nice place. Nothing bad could ever happen in here.
There she is! Flank her! She's got nowhere to run!
She's a ghost.
Except through the grate.
I'm not clear on how the flanking was supposed to work.
Yeah, right. Watch out for lava. Uh-oh.
Oh boy, burning coal. 2 of them this time.
Yeah, nice, Ray. Tell us again how lucky we are.
He seems to be coming for me somewhat. Maybe I should be using this one. Oh. This thing just needs to get normal killed, I think. Oh yeah, I've got to rip that out. Jesus.
Boy, are you
Trim the because it's too horrific. Scaffold made sure it was working last night, but it went. Okay, nice. Hey, and Head Chopper! How you doing, my man? Been a little while.
through that grate. Is there another way?
Oh, fucking hell. No, to dodge. Scrunchy RP'd as 50 Cent the other day. Her and Orlando had mad hilarious moments. Nice, okay. That sounds pretty fucking funny. He was testing her street cred like a motherfucker. Oh, really? Did she pass all the tests? Also, I'm going to take a very quick break because I need to piss. So, we will do a little giveaway. I need to set up Black Shores. But once I've done that,